So, ladies and gentlemen, on today's screenshots, I could have said this was the worst Canadian movie of all time, but it's not a Canadian movie, but it's pretty close because the main actor of all places is from Bathurst, New Brunswick region. Yes, I'm going to talk about an infamous police comedy or alleged police comedy, Night Patrol from 1984. If anyone grew up in the VCR generation like I did, Night Patrol is best described as probably the worst aspects of Police Academy put together, combined with some really cheap bathroom humor, lowbrow humor, disgusting humor, sexist humor, anti-gay humor, anti-lesbian humor, all the anti-humor categories. The basic plot is, and it's very, very slight. Murray Langston, of course, as most of you already know, plays the unknown comic. It was his stand-up routine, most notably seen on The Gong Show, the Chuck Barris hit many years before. And in this movie, Murray Langston's character is a cop who basically moonlights as a stand-up comedian at night in hopes of breaking it big. But here's where the confusion comes. Murray Langston's character doesn't remember being the unknown comic at night, and part of the machinations with his co-worker Pat Paulson, the infamous presidential candidate, and also Linda the Exorcist Blair, who plays a very ditzy version of herself in this movie, almost like wind in the air or the wind through a dull cone, as we say. It's some of the jokes in here are so sexist but so funny at the same time. It's almost like Benny Hill got a old-fashioned, ribald, joke book and started telling jokes. But Billy Barty's in it, who was a big hit on Bizarre a few years before. I think one of the most important smaller person actors of all time. Very, very funny. And of all people, J.P. Morgan, Unknown Comics co-star on The Gong Show, and a young Andrew Dice Clay. Now, here's the bizarre thing. This role was around the same time he did that MASH episode. And he also later did, of all things, a bit role on Pretty in Pink. Andrew Dice Clay was everywhere. It's not just in Stars Born in the Modern Era that he's been recognized. He's been around literally since late 70s, early 80s as kind of playing himself. Kind of a ditzy, himbo, John Travolta type. Now, again, I warn you, if you're getting this on DVD or watching on YouTube, again, it's not a Me Too movie. If you're a woman under 25 and is easily insulted, you will be insulted in the first 5 seconds of the movie, especially if you're an Acadian woman, of all things, because there's an opening scene where the Murray Langston character pulls over, how can I say this, a rapist pedophile, and the rapist pedophile cannot speak English. He's speaking a kind of a North Shore, Bathurst area Acadian Frenchiac, and there's subtitles, but again, it's very, very funny, but very, very disgusting at the same time. When you laugh at the first 5 minutes, you basically might have to take a shower right after, because the laughs just come left and right, and it's pretty freaky. Now, I must warn you that some extended versions of Night Patrol have cut out the Linda Blair romantic scene with Murray Langston at the end of the movie. I don't know if that's because of copyright or issues with Linda Blair's current situation with her 1980 movies, because she appeared in a lot of kind of sexist films at the time, a lot of bummers, but a lot of like prison movies and craziness like that. And she had posed nude for High Society magazine, which is kind of akin to having Shirley Temple posing naked 10 years after she did Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, like 19, 20 years of age. And not even talk about the Rick Springfield relationship. That's another podcast for later on. Again, Night Patrol, from 1 to 10 stars, I give it 1 little star, because it's a local boy. I'm from the North Shore. Murray Langston admitted that's one of his best movies. But actually, Murray Langston also mentored Jim Carrey in early part of his career. They did television together, so if Jim Carrey has a little bit of the unknown comic in him, and if you remember the unknown comic, I can't repeat 90% of the jokes he would say, especially an offhanded tribute to Dick Van Dyke in a scene in a lesbian bar. The joke has to be seen to believe. It's not only disgusting, it's extremely funny. So if you like that type of movie, please watch it. If you don't, I recommend you do not. Anyway, on this Saturday evening in New Brunswick, as we like to say, night patrol, keep your baton nearby, because you never know what type of villains you're going to meet on the dark streets of the night patrol. Night patrol. Have a good one. Bye.